Hi everyone, happy Friday, and it is jammy day, and I have my fish jammy bottoms on. What are the chances, right? It's a little chilly out here today too, but I'm sitting in front of the door where I put an ocean scene, and some of your classmates have already added to our ocean scene here, which is so great to see. I love all the colors. We've got Ellis and Elsie's. They are social distanced apart, as you can see by the numbers 1 through 6, and Leo and Nolan. So I hope to see a few more see our underwater scene grow as the weekend goes on. So also, I brought today just a couple little treasures of the sea. I have a sea star. Now, if it was still alive, of course, and it lost one of its arms, it could grow one back really quick, which is a special skill that the sea star possesses. Also, if you've ever found a sand dollar, they have a beautiful little star shape in the middle of them. Now, I would not recommend breaking one apart if you don't already find one broken, but if you ever do find one broken, check inside to see if it has the little pieces that look just like little seagulls or little doves inside. Usually there's 5 little pieces that look like doves. Again, just a treasure of the sea. And also, you know from one of our Magic Treehouse books that if this clam was together and a piece of sand got stuck inside, that it would form almost a soft protective surface around that piece of sand so it wouldn't irritate the inside of this clam, and then that could possibly form into a pearl. So again, just a treasure of the sea. And I don't have a big conch shell. At least I couldn't find my big conch shell. But some of you have held up a shell to your ear and you say, oh my goodness, I hear the ocean. And what you actually hear is an echo of all of the sound that is around you. The way the shell spirals in, it just makes an echo of all of the sounds that are around you at the time. So, I would like to read you one of my favorite stories today. It is called The Dory Story, and it's written by Jerry Pallotta and illustrated by David Bredersky. And I know I did not pronounce his last name correctly, but The Dory Story. We'll find out what a dory is in just a minute. And I actually got this long ago when I went to a reading conference, and the author, Jerry Pallotta, autographed it for me. My mom and dad always told me, you're just a kid, so don't ever go in a boat alone. But one night I learned about plankton. These tiny sea creatures are invisible during the day, but sometimes after dark they light up, so I wanted to learn more. The next morning, the ocean was flat, calm. I couldn't resist. I pushed the dory out and decided to row to the big rock in the middle of the bay. So the dory is another word for little rowboat. And good thing he is wearing his life jacket. I'm going to take the book jacket off here, boys and girls. As I rowed, I noticed dozens of seabirds circling around. Grandpa said that where there are seabirds, there are fish, so I kept on rowing. They're beautiful pictures. I wish you could see this book up close in the classroom. I looked over the side of the boat. I saw hundreds and hundreds of tiny shrimp swimming. I guessed that the little shrimp were eating the plankton. As I rowed toward the big rock, I saw schools of sand lances. Some people call these fish sand eels. The sand eels were chasing and eating the shrimp. So the shrimp were eating the plankton, and the sand eels were eating the shrimp. I heard something splash, and I looked over the bow of the boat. I heard more splashes. I looked closer and saw mackerels chasing and eating the sand eels. Look at this picture. Then I saw them, bluefish. Yikes! The bluefish were swimming like crazy and eating the mackerels. It was a feeding frenzy. Bluefish have razor-sharp teeth. I learned that the hard way. Last year I put my fingers into the mouth of a bluefish to pull out my hook, and zap! I had to get 4 stitches. So the bluefish were eating the mackerels, who were eating the sand eels, who were eating the shrimp, who were eating the plankton. I stood up in the dory to watch the show the bluefish were putting on. Suddenly, 5 huge tuna appeared in the bay. The tuna were chasing and eating the, you guessed it, bluefish. I began to worry. Maybe going out in the boat alone wasn't such a good idea. The tuna were almost as long as my boat. Tuna were eating the bluefish. I've been scared a few times, but I was terrified when killer whales came into the bay chasing the tuna. I didn't know what to do. But it all started to make sense. Killer whales eat tuna. Tuna eat bluefish. Bluefish eat mackerels. Mackerels eat sand eels. Sand eels eat shrimp. And shrimp eat plankton. I knew one thing. I did not want to become part of this food chain. Help! Where's my mommy? Just as I decided to row back to shore, whammo! A humongous humpback whale breached right in front of me. But wait, humpback whales don't eat killer whales. Humpbacks eat plankton and krill, some of the tiniest creatures in the ocean. The food chain is really more like a food web. I should have been smart like the seals and stayed near the shore. The harbor seals had sensed the danger and pulled themselves out of the water to escape the killer whales. All of a sudden, a killer whale swam by chasing a tuna. The tuna jumped out of the water and smashed into my dory. Bam! Oh no, I was capsized. Thank goodness I was wearing my life jacket. I should have stayed with the boat to wait, but I was scared, and I started swimming. I swam through the shrimp, through the eels, the mackerels, the bluefish, the tuna, the killer whales, and the humpback whale. It was cold. I had water in my nose, but I kept on swimming toward that rock in the middle of the bay. I made it. And here's his little dory out here. I pulled myself up by grabbing onto the seaweed. Just then, I heard my mom's voice. Danny, You tell the best stories when you're in the bathtub. I think you should write a book. Bet that was not the ending you expected, was it? And I think that's just what he did. He's probably the David that illustrated this book. So, I hope you enjoyed Dory Story, and make up some tales sometime when you're in the bathtub. It's great to use your imagination. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.